Let me tell you about that crazy overthought plan my players came up with that actually worked. So, we are playing the Splintered State adventure for Shadowrun. My players have a set of hot data and had received a phone call by a certain Seth Dietrich who said, "I give you 100,000 yen for the data. The exchange will be held at 1500 hours in the front of the Basilisk compound in the zoo of Fort Lewis. No questions." Simple, right? Wrong. My players think it's a trap. To be fair, a bit of paranoia was healthy at this point of the adventure. So they investigate the zoo security, which is military police and pretty high, and think of ways how they or anyone else might smuggle heavy firepower into the zoo. Then they start arguing about the plan, and after about 4 hours, this is what happened. The group's rigger, Mr. Heavygear, drives the group the zoo's parking lot in his Tata Hotspur racing truck. They unload his newest toy, a mobility scooter with rigger interface. But not the rigger sits on it, but the group's faceman and dog shaman, Dog. He will pose as a disabled stage magician to smuggle the mobility scooter, of all things, into the zoo. The mobility scooter is actually controlled as a drone by the rigger who stays behind in his truck. The group's decker, Kyle, who must be at the exchange because he took a phone call and will be expected to make the exchange, and Dog enter the zoo a few hours in advance and separately. Kyle plans his plan B, which is 2 sets of really gaudy Hawaiian shirts, tourist disguises. Dog checks for magic threats, while Heavygear is surveilling the area with his spy drones. Nothing suspicious happens, and finally at 1500 hours they meet their man in the front of the basilisk cage. But the man they meet is confused and distressed. When they finally approach him, he grabs Kyle by the shirt and asks him if he knows anything. Apparently, the man has amnesia, doesn't remember anything from the past 20 years, and has no clue who Seth Dietrich is or why he is at the zoo. Just when the group can't get any more confused, a bullet rips through Dietrich's head, splatters his brain against the basilisk cage, and cracks appear in the reinforced glass that is keeping the animals in. At the same time, 2 assassins show up at both escaped routes from the basilisk cage, ram pistol magazines into the wrists of their cyber arms, and start shooting at the characters. Kyle quickly searches the body of Seth Dietrich, finds a bag with lots of cred sticks and the man's comlink, and grabs both of them. Mr. Heavygear crashes one of his spy drones, setting off a smoke grenade hitting inside, giving Kyle and Dog at least some cover. The assassins open fire at Kyle, who had just picked up their target, and despite the long range and the concealment provided by the smoke, Kyle catches a few bullets and falls to the ground bleeding. Dog, who is still sitting in the mobility scooter, grabs Kyle, orders one of his summoned spirits to attack one of the assassins, and holds on for dear life. Now Heavygear, who is controlling the mobility scooter from his van, lets loose and floors the gas. He has an ability that lets him drive any vehicle over its limit, but it damages the vehicle in the process. The scooter races off with a wheelie and blasts past one of the assassins. The man shoots after them, but Heavygear dodges, rocking the scooter from side to side. At the same time, he orders his truck to batter through the zoo security fence backwards. Just as the race truck has broken through the fence, the scooter arrives, spraying sparks and smoking. As Dog jumps into the truck and Kyle is lifted into the truck's medical compartment by a crane, the scooter finally gives out and bursts into flames. Heavy Gear floors his truck and they're gone. So in the end, their plan worked. The group escapes, thanks to the heroic sacrifice of a mobility scooter. That's it for today's video. Thanks and goodbye.